Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Mind the gap.
Good evening everybody, hello and welcome. So great to have you here. We will be starting this dead route stream on the Birmingham Cross City Line in the new retro Centro Livery Class 323 in around about 6 minutes. Please have your tea and biscuits and light refreshments ready. Good evening everybody, hello and welcome to this dead route stream on the new Class 323 in Centro Livery on the Birmingham Cross City Line. We will be starting in around about 4 minutes time, so please have your drinks and light refreshments ready.
Passengers are reminded that smoking is prohibited at all stations and on all train services. This includes e-cigarettes. This is a safety announcement. It is not permitted to cycle, skateboard or rollerblade within the station building.
Hello, good evening, and welcome everybody to another Dad Rail live stream with me, Richard. If this happens to be the first live stream or video you've caught by me, then my name is Richard and I'm a freight train driver and former passenger train driver based in the southeast of England. This channel is Dad Rail. I am a dad. My son Sammy is sitting on the sofa because, as many of you know, he's autistic and he didn't want to go to bed just yet. He's still eating his dinner. So if you do a little bit of background noise, that's what's going on. But hey, I'm Dad Rail. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my house. This is my family. Come on in and join the party. That's how we roll here. We've got a Christmas tree as well. Finally. We're late putting it up and we've still got a lot of mess behind me because, like I say, little one's not in bed yet and Mum Rail hasn't done her tidying up. But never mind. Never mind. So, before we jump into the live stream, and as always guys, I've got to tell you that all the views and opinions expressed within this video are solely my own, may not reflect those of any companies I may be employed by or associated with, and all that good stuff. So, we are around about 3 or 4 subs away from 20,000 on this channel, which is an absolutely superb achievement. So fingers crossed, in this stream tonight we're going to get to 20,000 subs, which then of course means I'm going to have to do like a 20,000 subscriber special in the next couple of weeks, just after Christmas. But there we go. So who have we got in tonight? We've got Laserjet, Lawrence Adams, Pig and Bob, Leo Low on the first class tickets there with the YouTube membership. We've got Spicy Pepper Sauce, Artie moderating. Hello, bud, how are you doing? Anakin Hun, LW Rail, Grape Juice, Alex Feller. Great to have so many of you in tonight. So we're going to be having all of our usual features. We are going to be playing at Locomotive Livery Location. We are going to be jumping in and out of Discord server. We are going to be having Mum Rail's regular walking behind and saying hello as she goes about her business. I know she's great. She's doing chores and I'm playing games. That's why we've been together nearly 20 years. It works. It works. Anyway, that is enough chatting. Let's get in. Let's play some Train Sim World. We are jumping onto the Cross City Line. Hey, Laserjet, superb. Thank you very much. Laserjet899 Overshoots has become a member. Not to be confused with the Laserjet YouTube channel, but obviously a big fan. So, let's find the buttons. Let's hope everything works okay. I noticed a few people said earlier I was coming through quite quiet. I have done a few audio tweaks within the stream. So tell me as we go along if you think things are too loud or too quiet. We can tweak them. I know some of the Locomotive Livery Location sound effects were a bit loud and stuff like that, so we have tweaked them. So we are to the trains. Choose a route. We are on the Birmingham Cross City. We are on the 323, which is a lovely train to play with. And we have got the Regional Railways, aka Centro Livery, Birmingham Cross City. Now, this has been given to me completely free of charge, but all the opinions are my own. This is a very nostalgic livery for me. I remember the 323s in this livery. And of course, my kind of train sim... Not career, that's the wrong word. My days playing train sim started with Open BVE on the Cross City Line in the 323, which was the Centro Livery. So this livery has a special place in my heart. So let's jump into it. Right, we are going to do a Litchfield to Redditch service, which is 1 hour 13 minutes. We're going to do the whole service. It's pandemonium here. This is why we've delayed the last couple of streams. Welcome to my house. It's Dadbrow. Litchfield City to Redditch, starting at 8:07, 1 hour 13 minute. We'll keep it at December. We'll keep the weather clear, and we should jump in and get started. Tea and biscuits. Hello, Monkey. Audio is good. East Midlands Railway phone. Why can I hear Messenger? Yeah, Mum Rail's phone was going off. Apologies for that. All phones on silent, please, in the streaming room. It is on silent. It is now. Cole Button, good evening. I may have said a good evening already, but good evening again. Chinook, good morning where you are. Good evening from us. East Midland Railway fan, I would join you if I had the Cross City Line route. One of my favourite routes on the game. I don't play it often enough, but it is one of my favourite routes in the game. Like I say, it does hold a special place in my heart because it's where I started playing Open BVE on the Cross City Line. So, there we go. So here we are, Class 323. And look at that. Regional Railways. Now, I don't kind of know the connection between... Let's give you some game audio. I don't kind of know the connection between Regional Railways and Centro. I knew we had, like, Central Trains. I know it's like Centro's like the Central Trains Metro. So someone kind of have to explain that to me in the chat. But, yeah, there we go. 323. Centro Livery. Lovely machine. We'll have a few flyby shots and stuff as we go along. One of the things I have noticed is, if we go inside, we still have the London North West Railway branding. Not London North West branding, the West Midlands Railway. Come on, get your tock sorted out. Yeah, so the inside of it is still in West Midlands. It's only the outside that's been sorted out, which is a little bit disappointing. Would have been nice to have the whole train done, but... Never mind. It is what it is. So let's get this thing set up. Let's get our safety systems on. AWS in, and Passcom is normal. Vigilance normal. DSD normal. Sit down in the driver's seat. Key in. Into neutral, and we are doors on the right hand side. Oh, that's right. I have to put my door key in here, don't I? Otherwise I can't close the doors. We put the passenger lights on. That's always a good thing to do. And our headlights are already set. We've got GSMR to play with as well, which is always good. Rob says Centro was original West Midlands Authority combined. Oh, okay. That kind of makes sense. 2 Romeo 17. Wait until 0809 for departure. Where's my TPWS? Yeah, I believe to get the TPW. What? What just happened? We have a teddy bear. I did not know we could do that. That is cool. Okay. I'm trying to get to the TPWS switch. To the normal position. We've got to have a teddy bear in the cab. That is cool. We're having that. We're having that. Ben Davis, Merry Christmas to all. Indeed, Merry Christmas to all, Ben. We are off. Let me know, guys, if you need the game audio up or down or whatever you need done with it. Already speeding. Oh, excuse me. Starting as we need to go on there. Okay, so station-wise, we will be stopping at Four Oaks, Sutton Coldfield, Wild Green, Chester Road, Erdington, Gravelly Hill, Aston, Duddeston, Birmingham New Street, Five Ways, University, Selly Oak, Bourneville, Kings Norton, Northfield, Longbridge, Barnt Green, Alvechurch, and Redditch. That was an epic fail because when I said Bourneville, I should have gone, chocolate, but there we go. Okay, so someone has just said, rightly so in the chat, and I'm just trying to find the comment because I did pick it up. W4LT, isn't this representative of the repainted modern unit, hence the West Midlands Railway branding? Yeah, I believe you might be right there. I believe you might be right. I do remember reading that there was a, or was or still is a branded, Centro branded 323 going around. So yeah, I believe it may well be. Hunslet the Bear, yes. Is it Hunslet or Huntley? I can't remember now. Hunslet. Nice, nice. Lawrence, are you working over the Christmas period? So, Christmas Eve I'm working. Christmas Day I have off, thanks to some skillful negotiation with my roster manager. Boxing Day I am currently spare, which means at the moment I'm not required, but I've got to be available within 24 hours notice. So if we get to Christmas Day and they still haven't said they need me, then I've got Boxing Day off as well. Chinook, game audio up just a bit. We can absolutely do that. That is not a problem at all. Like I say, guys, do let me know if you want the levels tweaking. All feedback is good feedback. JB Video, Hunslet, named after the famous Leeds depot Hunslet Loco Works. Lovely time of day to be driving on this route as well. One thing Train World does do very well is the lighting. I don't like the lighting during the day. At peak lighting conditions, I think it looks very washed out. But when you're playing sort of dawn and dusk services, I think the lighting is beautiful in this game. Josh Phillips says, yes, that livery is on 323211. I believe I'm correct in saying that the 323s on the Glossop line are going to be going soon as well. So I might need to kind of get myself up to Manchester and have a little ride on that before they go. Right, so I am driving purely on the track monitor. I've got my objective markers turned off. So I've got to remember to keep looking up here for me little blue dots, because that is my station. Although looking at that, I'm not supposed to stop until Four Oaks, which is in 4.8 miles. So, yeah, maybe not. Okay, let's just keep going. Ben Davis, what do you think of the new West Somerset Railway steam train timetable coming? So, Ben, the West Somerset is the only UK route I don't currently own. So, I'll be interested to get my hands on it, but I'm probably not going to see it before the update to it is released. So, I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on that. I don't really have too much of an opinion on it. I think from what I've heard from others, it's a lot of sort of very slow speed running. But yeah. So what station have we just gone through? Shenstone. There we go. I was under the impression the 323 on this line was going to ScotRail. Oh, okay. Eastman as a railway fan, how did I get this HUD? So this HUD is part of, if you're playing Train Sim World 4 and you've had the latest core update, you will get this HUD as part of that. Okay, so we're good for 60. We've got no speed restrictions coming up. We've got 3.5 miles to our station, which means we should play Locomotive Location Livery.
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
Let me know if that sound effect's too loud. I've tweaked all of these. So we're going to play Locomotive Location Livery Location, whatever that man said. Post your numbers now between 1 and 25 in the chat. If you've not seen this before, you will soon get the hang of it. Eastman as a railway fan, if you go through the settings, you should be able to enable it. It's called like the mini HUD or something like that. Right, we've got a 50 coming up. We're on a slight uphill. We'll keep a little bit of power in. Right, what are we reckoning? Wookie 390. You are the third number on my screen with number 16.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
So here's how this is going to work, guys. I'm going to reveal box number 16. You've got 10 seconds to give me the locomotive livery and location of what you see underneath. Here we go. There's no right or wrong answers. Just let me know your thoughts. What do you reckon it could be? There is one of these for everyone. Josh Phillips, every time I go through New Street on my way into work, I always see this livery. And we are speeding, gets a little bit of brake in there, down for that 50. First station, 4 Oaks in 1.9 miles. What are we reckoning? Harun says looks like a 168. Laserjet says 319. GJ Barner says 700 at Gillingham. Tradesman from Berkshire says 168 Birmingham Snow Hill. Gareth Davis says Chiltern 168. Grape Juice says 319, probably. I'm going to try and pay attention to my driving and deliver a good solid drive. Maybe. Planes across the UK, Merry Christmas from the North Pole. I do quite like it at Christmas when the stations, they sort of customise the displays a little bit, the destination displays, and put some funky things up there. Sort of like the last train of the night on South Eastern, they always put up like the destination is the North Pole. 4 Oaks is still 1.2 miles, so we're not stopping here. Yeah, bit of a division on locomotive livery location. A few of you going for a 168, a couple of people going for a 319. Haran, travelled on my first 68 back to Birmingham the other night. Was pretty cool. Yeah, I was lucky enough. I went to Worley a couple of weeks ago to the Model Railway exhibition. And on the way back, we got an Uber from Birmingham to Stourbridge. Rode the Stourbridge Town Shuttle, which has got to be done, because I've never done it. And then we come back on the Class 68 with the Mark IIIs. Absolutely beautiful. It's progress. Apparently the new stuff we've got is progress, but when you get on a Mark III with a loco behind it, it's just so comfortable. It's such a nice experience. What we've got now is not progress. Hey, Typical Nathan and 156 Andrew, hello, welcome. Right, we've got a 55 coming up. We are well and truly going too slow. We're already a minute late. It's a Dead Rail stream. It's mandatory to be running late. And there's our 55, and we are now approaching Four Oaks. One of the things I would most definitely want to see in this game, and I've said it so many times, is announcements. I think when you're coming into a station, having announcements playing would just... it would add to that immersion so much. Right, we are a free car train. We are looking for the free car stop marker, which is just there. Free on the free, doors on the left-hand side. Typical Nathan, we are playing 2 Romeo 17 Litchfield City Station to Redditch. We are, of course, in the Centro Livery Class 323. Ready for departure. Chris Chili Hill, how does this game run on PlayStation 5? I can't answer that, unfortunately. I'm playing on PC. If anyone in the chat plays on PlayStation 5 and you can answer Chris's question, how does it play on a PlayStation 5? Love the sounds on this train. Yeah, Haroon, we did as well. We sat directly behind the loco. If you're going to go on loco haulage, you've got to sit near the loco. It's the first time I've had a 68 for haulage as well. They are beasts. Right, we are off to Sutton Coldfield in 0.9 miles, 55 mile an hour speed limit. Yeah, 156 free car in the middle of rush hour. And we have just had a AWS for 35. We've also got a 45 coming up. There's the 45. And we're on a downhill gradient, so we'll just let that coast around the corner. So we do have 91 of you lovely people watching at the moment. We are going for 20,000 subscribers at the end of today's stream, so if you haven't already, please do hit that like button, consider subscribing, that would be amazing. We're just a couple of subs off, which is an absolutely superb achievement. It's got a little bit foggy. And there's our 35. And we are breaking down perfectly for that. Harun, I can tell you in just a second. I have a picture of it. I will endeavour to look that up. Now approaching Sutton Coldfield, we are a free car train looking for the free car mark. Absolutely creeping about. See, this is one of the things about not having route knowledge. You need to know those braking points in order to be able to drive efficiently, get your stopping point, your braking points right, and be able to drive to time. If you don't know your braking points and don't understand sort of the full braking capacity of your train, then you tend to be doing what I'm doing now, which is driving really, really slowly and losing far too much time. We're a free car train. We are in the free car mark. Doors are on the left-hand side. Haroon, I can tell you. Let me have a little look on my phone. Because first 68 for haulage. I had to take a picture. 68013 was the one I had. Night night, Sammy. Not yet. Okay. Lock doors. We are off. And we're off to Wild Green, which is 1.3 miles away. We are good for 35 miles an hour. So, because the speed limit's only 35, there's no point in us taking full power. We just sort of take power notch 2 or 3 there. I have just been told in the chat, SJA, Formula 47, Chinook, Josh Phillips, we have reached the fantastic achievement of 20,000 subscribers. That is like, eee! that is a nice Christmas present. Thank you so much, everybody. That is a very, very nice Christmas present. We'll have a quick look over in the Discord server. A few people posting over there. Joshua R. Thames Tunnel Hidden London Tour. I really want to do that. And Gareth is posting tea and biscuits. 156 Andrew, thank you very, very much. Very generous of you. Merry Christmas to you and your family as well. Let's go back to the game. If you want to join our Discord server, guys, you can do. There is an invitation link in the description below. 0.8 miles to Wild Green. We've got no speed restrictions coming up. In real life, I really enjoy driving in foggy conditions. It's a real test of your route knowledge. We don't slow down in the fog. You'd still be driving along at line speed. So approaching this station here, I'd still be doing 60 miles an hour, looking out for my regular braking point. You can have it so you literally can't see anything in front of your face. It is a real test of your route knowledge. It's interesting. There's a station along here somewhere. Wild Green, there we go. 3-car train, 3-car mark. I am definitely driving far too slow. I've been driving the Pacer far too much lately, that's the problem. The awesome Just Trains Pacer. And we're free on the free. We should absolutely take that. Tea and biscuits, Locomotive Location Livery. Your wish is my command.
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
Get those numbers in. Roy Michael Taylor, good evening from Derbyshire. Hope your day has been good. Mine has. We've been over to... My little Sammy in the background there. We've been over to Eastbourne today doing a bit of Christmas shopping. Went out for some lunch. It was absolutely lovely. And tomorrow I've got to go and drive real trains. I'm on de-icing trains tomorrow. I'm on de-icing standby, so that means go to the yard and wait for someone to phone me and tell me to go out de-icing. However, because the temperature's still quite mild down here in the south, I very, very much doubt that we're actually going to end up doing any de-icing. So it'll probably be a day of shunting in the yard and maybe a few mince pies as well. Right, we are off to Chester Road in 0.7 miles. Locomotive Livery Location. Third one on my screen is Leo Low with number 17. Let's play.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
So you haven't seen this game before, guys. I'm going to give you box number 17. You've got 10 seconds to give me the Locomotive Livery and Location. Hannah Scott has become a member. Thank you very much, Hannah. Let me know your thoughts on what that could be, guys. 10 seconds. As we approach Chester Road. Oh, as we shoot through. No, that's not the station. The bridge proper threw me there. That is the station there. Haroon, Dadrail, do you just drive engineering trains or do you operate freight services too? So, freight services, engineering trains, basically anything that can be hauled by a class 66, 69, 57, I can drive it effectively. So, yeah, at the moment we're doing de-icing. We've just been doing railhead treatment train services throughout the leaf fall. Yeah, I could be doing heavy freight trains. I could be, if I was lucky enough, I might be doing a charter train. That tends to be on seniority though, so I've got a long way to go before I get to drive those. But yeah, no, absolutely, we do a bit of everything. 447, 168 at Marylebone, Chiltern. Tea and biscuits, 390 at Great Yarmouth. A 390 at Great? Do they go to Great Yarmouth? Yeah, SJA 57s are quite quiet, reasonably quiet in the cab. I really like driving 57s off to Erdington Platform 2. I really like driving 57s, but I would describe them as very polite locomotives. They're not particularly loud and they're not particularly thrashy. They're just polite. Where's the AWS in the 323? Driving it like we stole it now. We are a 3-car train looking for the 3-car mark. We've got an S-car mark on the end of the platform, which is just as well because the way I'm driving it, we need the whole platform to stop. We come back to brake step 1 for the final stop, which just makes it a little bit smoother for the passengers. 447, can you haul 390s in 57s? Wait, did we do that on a... We did do that on a stream. The day I signed class 57s in real life, we done a... the Northern Princess Productions put together a Train Sim Classic scenario where we left Preston and went up to somewhere in a 57 light engine, picked up a 390. And if you remember rightly, I was supposed to stop at stations on the way back with the 390 and I forgot and went fast to Preston. Yeah, the AWS cancellation is there. It's also the Q key. If you want to enable it, the safety system to turn it on is one of these there. Yeah, AWS. Right, we're off to Gravelly Hill in 1 mile. 60 mile an hour speed restriction still. Getting these station stops a little bit better now. Yeah, Hannah, are you certain of your stopping pattern? It's so easy. If you've driven the same train for or the same service all week and then you suddenly get put on a different service, it's so easy to become complacent with your stopping pattern. Like I did earlier, I assumed all trains on the Cross City Line stopped absolutely everywhere. Which is why I nearly stopped at a station I shouldn't have stopped at. And it's so easy to do. If you've stopped at that station every day that week, and then on Friday it doesn't stop there, you know, you've almost led yourself into a false sense of security. So the chances are you might end up stopping there. Stopping at a station when you're not supposed to is not such a big problem, but the other way around, when you're supposed to stop somewhere and you don't, that is most definitely tea and biscuits with the manager. I'm hoping these platforms are nice and long because I am straight past the 3-car mark. We're identifying as a 6-car train for the purpose of this. We will get a pretty poor score with this one. Let's jump out and have a flyby shot as we pull out the station. We haven't done one of those for a little while. There's not much station dwell time on this. You are literally in and then straight back out again. Let's go. Yeah, Grape Juice, you're absolutely right. AWS's automatic warning system. The weather's not getting any better either, is it? Probably start snowing soon. Aston 0.8 miles, 50-mile-an-hour speed limit. .6 miles to Aston. Right, we've got an AWS warning. What am I cancelling my AWS for? A 20-mile-an-hour advanced speed warning board. That is going to be before Aston as well, so... Formula 47, it doesn't appear that it does, but if there's only one unit in the fleet that's got this livery on it, so I think that's kind of the look they've gone with. So we'll see as we go along, but yeah, quite possibly you're going to be the only train on the network driving this livery. But I've not. This is the first time I've, other than to load it up and do the thumbnail for the video, this is the first time I have driven this route with this livery. So we'll see what happens as we go along. We've got that 20 coming up, so we'll drop the speed down a little bit more. Well, there we go. As we approach Ashton. He's right behind me. He can come and wave if he wants to. Sorry, I realised that had absolutely no context to it. Jack sucks at life shorts. Come and wave at the camera, Tommy. This is Tommy. This is one of the other sons.
Hello.
You all right?
Yeah, you?
Yeah.
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Network Panda, thank you very much. Emily Jane, the costume queen. It's fantastic. I'm rather chuffed with that, I must say. Hannah Scott, I like your thinking. If you get things wrong, you can blame the second man, even if he is a bear. Does that show from the outside? It does. That is so cool. I am definitely here for that. That is cool. You can also do it with the tail lamp as well. There's a tail lamp under the seat which we can place on the windscreen, which is pretty cool. Right, we are 1.1 mile from Duddeston. Good for 30. East Midlands Railway fan says hello, Tommy. It's Dad Rail. Welcome to my house. This is my family. Come on in. We're going with that narrative now. Northern Princess Productions, double adverts for me. I really don't like the way YouTube is handling their adverts now. I've got the adverts set to the minimum I can, which is once every 30 minutes. But some people seem to get them more regularly than that. So if you are getting them more regularly than that, I do apologise. Victoria Chadwick has become a member. Hello, Victoria. Welcome to the Davro Train Crew. If you haven't already, Victoria, as well, don't forget to join our Discord server. That goes for everyone else as well, and you'll find an invitation link to that in the description below. East Midlands Railway fan. My eldest, believe it or not, is 18, and he's upstairs. I might see if he'll buy me a kebab later because... it's a proper family stream. This is my eldest.
Got to get us all here. So I heard an 18-year-old.
We'll have to get you. We'll have to get you on the stream driving a train one day.
Yeah, I'd be up for it. Just keyboard, isn't it?
It's easy, isn't it? It's easy.
Well, it looks, but on a keyboard, yeah.
Oh. Right, we're at Duddeston.
Is this it?
This is it. They're all here. I've got Tommy, Sammy here as well.
Sammy's in.
Yeah, no, he got out.
Yeah, we just need Joshua to complete the. Oh.
Oh. This is why we don't have visitors in the driving cab in real life. Where's my stop car mark gone? It was 40 yards ago.
Just buy you a kebab later. I don't know about that one.
Are you going to buy me a kebab later? I did buy you dinner earlier on, and I paid for your girlfriend's dinner.
Yeah, but I got you a present for Christmas.
I got you a present for Christmas as well.
Yeah, my present's very expensive. I might get you a kebab.
Dear, oh dear, oh
Well, I
dear, oh
might
dear.
get Tesco's.
Anyway, back to the stream. Rick Ashtray, good evening all and chat. Rick Ashtray, you have one of the most legendary usernames on YouTube. Never going to give you up, never going to run around. All of that sort of stuff. I tell you what we'll do, actually. We shall. We're off to Birmingham New Street, 1.4 miles. Let's get the opinion of young Tommy, who's standing next to me. You play a lot of computer games, don't you, Tommy?
You can say that, yeah.
You play a lot of Roblox, Fortnite. You're a bit of a Fortnite expert.
No, not
Now,
yet.
is this not the coolest thing you've ever seen in a computer game? Come and look at the screen.
Yeah.
Yep. Bend down a bit so you can see on camera. Right. You see, this is my train. This is my cab.
No,
Okay,
you can't.
we'll go a little bit slower. Okay, this is not going to work very well. Okay, watch this. I can put a teddy bear on the dashboard of the train. How cool is that?
Would you like a medal?
Look, and if we go to the outside view, there's me and there's my teddy bear.
You like your teddy bear, Dad?
Tell me that isn't cool. Tell me that isn't cool.
That isn't cool. You tell me to say it.
I do like quirky little features like that. Gregory Allen, Richard, please tell Tommy the British Ace did a Fortnite stream. We done a Fortnite stream on the channel a little while ago, only it was actually Tommy playing. I mean, he came like second. The first, like, we played Fortnite live on the channel and he came second. But I was trolling everyone because everyone thought I was playing it and it was my first time and I didn't know what I was doing. And Tommy was sitting just off camera. That video is on the channel somewhere. We should do it again sometime.
No, you didn't. It wasn't popular at all.
Juck Sats at Live Short says, hi Tommy, it's Mason.
Yeah, he's not very much.
Formula 47, I think we have a dad route, sons and mum competition to see which one of the family is best at driving trains. Yes. That has to be a thing. That has to be a thing. I risk losing miserably, but that has to be a thing. Eastman is Railway fan, your kids are crazy.
Ouch.
They take after me. Jack, there's trains in Fortnite now. If there are, is that
There is, yeah.
Ah, well,
It runs it on the map.
if there are,
You
if
can't drive it.
two yellows coming into New Street, if there are trains in Fortnite, it now falls within the remit of Dad Rail because it runs on rails. Two yellows going into platform 12. I told you it was going to start snowing. As soon as you get to Birmingham, it starts snowing. Speed limit's going to drop to 15 and then 10 through the station. And we are a free car train looking for the free car mark. Formula 47 still waiting for the City Skylines 2 stream. Yeah, that needs to happen as well. I'm getting quite into City Skylines too. I've wasted too much time in it. What a game that is. And there's our 10 coming into the platform. Artie, you told me you never wanted to be reminded of that fact. 10 does seem extremely slow. The only thing that gets me with this route is you come into New Street and it's completely empty and unoccupied, and it is one of the things that breaks the immersion a little bit is the lack of rolling stock on some of the routes. I do understand why, and you sort of, as we get more and more variety, more and more rolling stock, hopefully they're going to layer things on. But yeah, the lack of variety in rolling stock at New Street is one of the turn-offs on this route for me. We've got one yellow on the mid-platform signal. Mid-platform signals that we can see there on the left are a particular spad trap. Especially if you've got a long train where you need to pull down to the end of the platform. A mid-platform signal can be a big spad trap. And we've got red at the end of the platform, so we're setting our DRA. We're looking for the free car or S car stop marker. Doesn't look like we've got any stop car markers here at Birmingham New Street, so I am just going on the countdown marker. We'll go to the end of the platform. As long as we don't go past the red, I figure we'll be alright. So, brake step free, DRA set and into neutral. Doors on the left-hand side. Signal has now cleared, so we can take the DRA off. And let's play a game.
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
Jack, are there many local signal boxes on your routes, Richard? I've been told it's mostly controlled by rocks down there. Yeah, so a lot of the routes, sort of central London and stuff, are definitely rocks. However, on my local line, Hastings line, we have Hastings signal box, we have Bo Peep signal box, we have Robertsbridge signal box, and we have Tunbridge signal box, which are all small independent signal boxes. So yeah, we're quite fortunate in that respect down where I am. Probably shouldn't blow the horn in New Street Station. I don't think that's particularly advisable. Right, we've got a green, we've got a G, we have got Locomotive Location Livery. We've got the third number on my screen, which is Harun. Let's play.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
So here we go, guys. Going to give you box number 3, Locomotive Livery Location, if you can, please. I think that's blown it wide open. Let me know in the chat what you think that is. So in the new year, the stream is going to have a little bit of an overhaul. I'm going to be changing some of the screens. And as part of that, Locomotive Livery Location is going to become a 6x6, probably a 7x7 grid. So the tiles are all going to be a little bit smaller, which is just going to make it that little bit more challenging. It's a good concept, but I do feel sometimes it's a little bit easy. We're good for 15 now as we come around the corner. We're coming onto the bit of the line that I'm a little bit more familiar with now, thanks to my days in Open BVE, but only familiar in the opposite direction, because one of the quirks of Open BVE was you could only drive routes in one direction. Lee RN, good evening, hello. Formula 47, what's the advice with horns in station for passenger drivers? There's no rule book requirement to sound horns in stations. Unless there's a whistle board or you see people on the track. But there is a really nice clause in the rulebook that says the driver may sound the horn whenever they deem it necessary. So, yeah. We quote that one quite a lot. Quite a lot. Right, we're in the 20. We are good for 40. Oh, I think that has definitely blown it wide open. That has definitely blown it wide open. You've just made Jill from Wolverhampton drop her Costa from sounding the horn, says Jack. Didn't know I had it in me, Jack. Right, we're climbing up towards 5 ways. No, Artie, absolutely not. We're not retiring Locomotive Location Livery. I just want to make it a little bit more challenging. We did try doing it in like a YouTube Shorts and TikTok format as well, but it didn't go down very well doing that. But I might explore that again. But yeah, I'm definitely going to go for like a 6x6 or 7x7 grid. It takes an age to program it all in to get it all to work on the Stream Deck. But I think it's worth doing, having smaller tiles on there. 5 ways in the snow. Free car train. Looking for the free car mark. The platforms here are all heated, which is why they have no snow on them, of course. Free on the free, doors on the left. Southeastern Train Channel. Does this 323 not have a partially operational GSMR? It absolutely does. But the way the GSMR works, it's funky. It kind of turns itself off when it shouldn't do. Yeah, it hasn't made all the right noises and stuff. That I did register it at the start of the journey. So yeah, that is something they do need to look into. So we are good for 40. We are going round to University. It is snowy now. We should see if we get a little bit of low adhesion happening. We got a nice kick up on the wheels. Formula 47, I hate the random gaps in the snow under tunnels and bridges rather than a slow gradient. We should only be doing 40, then up to 50, so I am speeding. I think, generally speaking, the snow effects on this are pretty decent. I think they've done a reasonably good job on it. Can you put a bear in the back and have a double bear? That sounds like that's something we have to try. Eastman is a railway fan, no WSP action. Yeah, in real life, driving in the snow, you don't really get a great deal of WSP driving in the snow. Driving with leaves on the line is a far bigger problem than snow. Your biggest problem with snow and ice really is it compacting and freezing up the brake rigging, which when you've got a modern multiple unit with disc brakes, it's not such a problem, but on freight trains it most definitely is. Driver of 2 Romeo 17, currently on the approach to University Station. This is a Birmingham signaller. Please stop sounding your horn at stations, driver. You're giving everyone a heart attack. Or we could get one of these.
Emergency, emergency, emergency.
At a station, try double bear for the external camera. We will do that. So before we put the brakes in for University Station, I'm having a little bit of a running brake test further out. Just checking the brakes are working properly, checking the adhesion conditions as well. Wiper control off. Okay, I need to play around with my wipers and try and get them working. Where's my stop car mark? S car mark at the end there. There we go. And normally you want your stop car mark in the drop light window there. If your stop car mark's within the drop light on the side, that normally is pretty good. Let's have windscreen wipers intermittent 2. Right, let's very, very quickly go into neutral. So, and if you're leaving the cab, you should always set the DRA. One of the occasions the DRA should be set is when entering or leaving a driving cab. We can pretend we've had a PASCOM alarm or something like that. We can! We have a bear in the back! Does that replace the one in the front, though? That is the question. Okay, we've got a green light so we can take the DRA off. Let's get those doors closed. No, the one in the front is still there. Awesome. We are off. So I'm going to pull away in power notch 2 in the snow rather than power notch 4. And once the train's got moving, we've got up to about 10 miles an hour. I'll give it power notch 4. Just to make sure we got no wheel slip going on. It's all behaving. We are off to Selly Oak is our next station stop. Artie, we have a bear in the back. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to apologise for the slight delay to this service. This is due to your driver placing a bear in the back of the train. Rick Ashtray, I know you put a disclaimer about your views being your own, but have you had any trouble from operators? Not particularly, no. I don't... with the jokes about Lumo excluded on the last stream, I never really say anything derogatory or anything like that, and I kind of stay away from controversy a little bit. So yeah, I've not really had any problems from employers or other operators or anything like that. This is really bad driving coming into here. And we're going straight into emergency. If in doubt, chuck the lot in. Wow. The game is still telling me to unlock doors. Okay. Yeah, no, the brakes definitely didn't work as intended there. That definitely didn't work very well. See, what I've done here by opening the doors is I've made the platform overshooting itself is not really a safety issue. I mean, they can say you're not driving appropriately, that's perfectly acceptable, and you would be tea and biscuits with the manager. But by overshooting the platform and then opening the doors so passengers can get out onto the track, that then becomes a major safety of the line incident. Yeah, Formula 47 again should have done me running brake test. Absolutely should have done me running brake test. Are there no sanders? I'm not sure if the sanding on this is automatic or not. Sander pressed. Oh, there we go. We've got a sanding button there. Most modern units, when you're under braking conditions, do have auto sanding. Yeah, exactly that, Artie. Now you've had the operational incident. Yeah, overshooting the platform, especially in these conditions. I mean, I was coming in a bit hard. I wasn't driving appropriately for the conditions. Fair play. Wouldn't be too much of a big deal. But having opened the doors, that's it. That's game over. W4LT raid report pending, definitely. Yeah, Formula 47 on the traction that I previously drove, so class 375s, 377s. The auto sanders only worked in notch 2 or above. So have a little bit of a running brake test there. Brakes do seem to be working a little bit better. And we have 2 flashing yellows, which is for the junction at Kings Norton, I believe. Yeah, Formula 47, if you did have stock with SDO on it, that would be one of your options, would be to only release the doors that were on the platform. We are now approaching Bourneville. Chocolate. Sorry, my son's looking at me funny. Bourneville, the station we are arriving at, is where Cadbury's World is.
Okay.
You can have as much chocolate as you like.
If it was real chocolate, then yeah, sure. But...
Notch 3 locked up and the wheels just slid. We should have wheel flats on this unit now. It should be going bang, 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 bang. That is more or less free on the free. Doors on the left. We're already running a couple of minutes late as well. This route, the timings on it are pretty tight at the best of times. Jason Hawkins, can you not back up so all the doors are on the platform? It depends on the signaller, Jason. So I think there's a distance limit on it as well. I think if the overrun's more than 150 metres, I need to get my rule book out and double check that because I don't drive passenger trains anymore. Artie, you might be able to remember it. Is it 150 metres possibly? Or it might be 300 metres. But yeah, but simply backing up wouldn't be an option. But if the signaller gave you authority, you could change ends, go into the other cab and then drive the train back into the platform. But you'd need authority from the signaller to do that. On a line like this, which is pretty busy, the chances of you getting permission to set back are going to be really, really slim. They're going to tell you to continue to the next station and the passengers can just catch a train back. Yeah, it's going to be really, really unlikely to be authorised to do that. Okay, last signal was 2 flashing yellows. Starting away from a platform that doesn't have a starting signal is always a risk. There is our 1 flashing yellow. 0.8 miles to Kings Norton. Formula 47, what is the reverse gear for? So, on a multiple unit, I mean, there are times in operation when you may have cause to drive the train backwards, driving from other than the leading cab, that's known as, in very specific circumstances, such as certain shunt moves. Okay, we've got banner repeated to the left as expected, such as certain shunt moves in authorised locations. The biggest use you're really going to get out of it is when attaching trains. Or detaching trains, I should say. You put the train in reverse, hold the uncouple button, and then pull them apart. Or after you've attached them and you want to do a pull away test, that's generally the most usage you're going to get out of the reverse. 30 round the corner into Kings Norton. I've got a little man next to me who's taking an interest in what's going on. He's living his best life. And we are a 3-car train for the 3-car mark. Green at the end of the platform. Artie says, did Mum Rao bring you biscuits with that tea? No, she didn't. No. She should have done.
I'll go grab your biscuits down.
We are 3 on the 3. Doors on the left. We have 3 biscuits. So when we had the storms a little while ago, they sent us out to do route proving trains early in the morning. And as part of the route proving trains, we took a chainsaw gang with us. So if we come across any trees, they can chop them up and get the line clear. So I had 3 fellas in my cab, but there was only 2 of them. Definitely are. Southeastern Train Channel, what are the flashing signals for? I've seen some on the Southeastern High Speed near Newington. So, flashing signals indicate... Hello, Sammy. Flashing signals indicate to you as a driver that you're going to be taking the highest speed diverging route at the next junction. So, basically it's advanced route indication. However, if it's 2 flashing yellows, you still treat it as 2 flashing yellows. So the signalling sequence you would expect would be 2 flashing yellows, 1 flashing yellow, 1 static yellow of a junction indicator, and then you'd expect the next signal to be red. Northfield, 0.8 miles, 2 yellows. With a little bit of a running brake test. So during snow and ice conditions, we should be having a running brake test every 3 to 5 minutes. With 50% braking and observing a 10-mile-an-hour reduction in the train speed. On a service and a line like this, we're probably not going to get 3 to 5 minutes between station stops. It's not going to be a problem. But long distance and high speed, it definitely would. I'm having my tea and biscuits. It's a digestive. And we have slowed down now as well, because like I said, we're running under cautionary signals. I've just noticed on the adjacent platform we have a 6-car set with a Centro Livery and a West Midlands livery. Hey Lana, welcome to Dabrow, new subscriber. Great to have you here. We are now 3 on the S. And doors on the left. There it goes, our 8-car set. Formula 47, the East Coast Main Line flashing signals. So on the East Coast Main Line, you've got flashing greens. They are not used anymore. The idea was the flashing greens authorised the driver to travel at 140 miles an hour on that section. That was an experiment when the Class 91s came out. I believe it was the 91s. It authorised them to travel at 140, but ultimately it was put in as part of a trial, and although they are still there and they are still flash, the drivers just treat them as greens. They don't actually mean anything extra these days. Okay, so we are starting away. Oh, my biscuit's gone soggy. That's a fail. So we're starting on 1 yellow. We have a big risk here, which is known as a soy spad. Start on yellow spad. It's really easy to pull away from the station in full power, forget what your signal aspect is, come around the corner, and then you've had a spad. It's quite a common cause of spads. So I'm pulling away in power notch 2. So the company I previously worked for, if you started away from a single yellow, it was a maximum of power notch 2. That was the company driving policy. And it's something they would be checking on downloads as well, to make sure you were obeying that. .45 warning, we are still red ahead. So it'd be very easy, because we're travelling at quite a low speed, your perception of risk tends to drop. So it'd be very easy now, we could have a passenger alarm go off, the GSMR radio could come to life. So if GSMR radio come to life now and the signal will try to contact us, you know, there's potential for us to answer that, and then you're falling into the SPAD trap. So many things can happen. Tradesman from Berkshire, the DARIB, Dad Row Accident Investigation Board, will be run by the Discords. Do you know what? I am very tempted, for a little bit of fun, I am very tempted to make that a thing. Just for a little bit of fun. Every time we have incidents in the stream, we could have the DRAB channel. Red ahead. This is very bad driving. Coming in against that red signal there, I was going way too fast. Especially in these conditions. Yeah, a tradesman from Berkshire. I like that idea. Longbridge, the MG Rover plant used to be here. We are free on the free. Unlocked doors. Jack, they'd be overworked, Richard. The worst thing that's happened on tonight's stream was my biscuit got soggy. Right, we are green. We've got the position 4 route indicator, which is going to take us through that nice 20 mile an hour crossover. Artie, I've had a signal cleared for me to single yellow, then it took the route. Then as I passed the signal had called. Let's just say I did not pick up and my driving instructor was not happy. I'm assuming you mean your driving instructor wasn't happy by the fact that the signaller called you, Artie. I believe in the rule book now, signallers are not supposed to call drivers unless it's urgent. They're supposed to send the contact signaller message so you call them back at your convenience. I could be wrong about that. We might have to ask Hazel's or some of the other signallers, or Dan from the Discord server. But I believe signallers are supposed to send you the contact signaller message on the GSMR. They're not supposed to call you unless it's an emergency or very urgent. We're on greens. We're good for 90. This is the only bit of the cross city where we get some speed up. Yeah, completely understandable, RT. I completely understand why your DI wouldn't be happy with that. There we go. Jack has confirmed. Yes, signallers can't contact drivers whilst the train is moving unless it's a wreck or emergency call. Hey, Kieran Penny. Hello. How are we doing? Last signal was green, good for 90. 1.8 miles to our next station. I think we can turn that wiper off as well now. The snow seems to have stopped. Crazy Dash, how are we doing? Two yellows. Because of the inclement conditions, I'm going to immediately start to slow the train down. Act as me running brake test as well then. Make sure we're melting any snow that's in the brake rigging. Because again, although the snow has stopped, the snow that's on the ground is being disturbed by the passage of trains, so that can still kick up and get compacted within the brake rigging. Formula 47, remember this one BVE. I was saying that earlier, Formula 47, but only in the opposite direction. And we've got one yellow, which means we are red ahead. Let's bring that train speed down a little bit more. And we've got the red up in the distance. I've got the signal mod installed on here, and the signals really do pop out quite nicely. Lana, hi, how are we doing? I think this is the first Davro live stream I've had tea and biscuits for real. It's the 20,000 subscriber one. We had real tea and biscuits. Now this signal is what we call, or what we don't call, approach controlled. So as far as we're concerned as drivers, there are no such thing as approach control signals. They don't exist. I will tell my trainee drivers, if we are coming up to an approach control signal, I will tell my trainee drivers, I can't tell you the signal's approach controlled, because there's no such thing as approach control signals. But if there was such a thing as an approach control signal, this is what it would look like. And the reason we are told as drivers that there's no such thing as an approach controlled signal is because you should never, ever, ever expect a signal to clear. A signal is red until it clears. You should never expect it to clear. The idea of approach control signals, as you can see at the moment, the line speed's 90. We've been given a position 1 junction indicator, which is going to take us around a 15-mile-an-hour bend. If we come hurtling up to that signal, and all the signals all the way through were green, and then we come up to that one with a junction indicator, we've got to get from 90 to 15 to get around that bend. It's not going to happen. So they'll use what are called, or what are not called, approach controlled signals. And the idea is to slow you down. It forces you to slow down for the red signal. Once you've slowed down sufficiently, the signal will clear round the corner. But you should never, ever, ever assume the signal's going to clear. A signal is red until it clears. Always assume it's going to stay red. It's a big trap in a lot of places, because there are signals that I have approached 100 times, and every time I've approached them they've cleared. And then there'll be that one day when you're running a little bit late and you're pushing it a little bit, and you come around the corner a little bit faster than you normally would because you're trying to make up time, because that signal's cleared 100 times previously, and you come around the corner and it doesn't clear. You know, and stuff like that does happen. So as drivers, we are told to treat every red signal as a red signal, and approach control signals do not exist. Okay, we're looking for the free car stop mark, which is just about there. And if I can get that in the drop light, we're doing well. There is a little bit of judgment because the pillar on the left-hand side, you do lose... No, stop! You do lose a little bit of the platform view. So there is a little bit of guesswork and a little bit of judgment going on there. Jack, is that a distance signal? There's 2 on the signalling school panel that always remain yellow on the approach to a junction. Stop at location Alvechurch. I haven't locked my doors yet. What's going on here? Okay, that's interesting. I think it wants me to go. No, distance signal's a little bit different, Jack. A distance signal can't show a red aspect. So a distance signal can only show a yellow or a green, or in some cases 2 yellows. Creeping round the corner, heading up to Alvechurch. I am of course going to mention the legendary signaller and driver conversation at Alvechurch. If you are over the age of 18, go and check that out. That is legendary on YouTube. Hey, Chip Bastian, welcome to Dad Round. New subscriber, great to have you here. JGH Prague, how is your game? How is it your game is not stuttering at all, especially live streaming? Yeah, solid 60 FPS at the moment. I think my frames are actually capped at 60 FPS. Depends what you play it on, though. I don't tend to get... I do get a little bit stuttering on some routes, but generally speaking, it's pretty good. Anakin, can a speed of a 4'6" gauge railway exceed 100 miles an hour? I no idea. Yeah, Jack, incredible bit of comms. That video is... Hey, where's all the viewers gone? Someone can post a link in the Discord server if they want to. Post it in the live stream chat. If you haven't seen that, it's worth checking out. Right, Alvechurch is in 0.9 miles. We're good for 40. Let's get it going. $40, not $50. Yeah, Chip Bastian. Funnily, when we went through Birmingham New Street earlier on, I said exactly that. Without the additional layers on there, there's no pendos or anything in there. It does seem a little bit underwhelming. Is that warning for me, Artie, or the chat? There's no danger of me doing it. Alvechurch, we are free for the free. Alex, how long did it take for me to train to become a passenger driver? About a year actual training. However, I'd been on the railway for about 4 years, 3-4 years before I became a mainline driver. And I was already working as a depot driver, a shunt driver, so I already had sort of a fair bit of experience before I went mainline. But yeah, it takes around between a year and 18 months, depending on who you're working for. No problem, Artie. We're keeping it family friendly and PC. Although the last stream on the Antelope Valley, it was a little bit close to the mark. Jack, there's the infamous bridge. I'm not going to say any more than that, Jack. Artie is bigger than me. 447, will we be doing anything after this route or calling it a day? Do you know what? I was going to call it a day, but there's 110 of you lovely people still watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm quite tempted, depending on what everyone wants to do, I'm quite tempted to jump on the Midland Main Line and have a little spin up there. Because there's been quite a few improvements and bits and bobs to that, and I haven't looked at it yet. So I am quite tempted to have a little go up the Midland Main Line. Okay, we've got a 60 coming up. Let's drop a little bit of brake in. There we go, we've gone down too far. Trace Wolf Barsham, Midland Mainline HST. I was tempted, I was thinking maybe the Ralph Phoenix 37 would be quite nice, but we can do an HST run. Yeah, guys, Artie's done a little bit of work on Nightbot. You might see Nightbot is not quite so forceful anymore. Right, we've got a 50 coming up, which we are still good for. We might need a little bit of brake just to get down for that. 1.5 miles out of Redditch. Let's do... Although I think most people have got this now, but let's do this again.
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
Get those numbers in between 1 and 25. My vote is for the 37. British Ace did a petroleum run on the middle of Main Line. Yeah, we did have a look at the TEA wagons at the end of the last stream. I was rather disappointed with the lack of braking performance on them. Okay, the third number on the screen is Pig and Bob with number 18 just coming down for this 30 mile an hour restriction. Don't want to be doing the TPWS. We are fine for that.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
I am going to give you box number 18. You've got 10 seconds for that locomotive livery and location, if you can. Although, to be fair, I think a lot of people have already got this one. Haroon, to some extent, yes, but I thought it was excessive. That is a distance signal there. We've got a triangle on there indicating that is a distance signal. So we treat that as one yellow. That is a fixed distance because obviously it's a sign, so it can't be changed, but that is still classed as a signal. Yeah, but I mean, I drive heavy freight trains, and the braking performance on there, it was nowhere near what it should have been. It was it was too bad. Hello, Sammy. I have a visitor again. We're still good for 30 at the moment. So yeah, so that fixed distance would be classed as 1 yellow, and then obviously our red would be the buffer stops at Redditch station, which is just round the corner. JB Video, Chiltern Railways 168 London Marylebone, East Midlands Railphone 168 London Marylebone. RTU has increased the number of emojis allowed in one message. Cue the emoji spam. This is now going to happen. And we want to be aiming to do 15 miles an hour at the platform ramps. And then make sure we're doing no more than 10 over the TPWS loops, or it will be tea and biscuits for the manager. Incidentally, if you were to activate the TPWS overspeed loops approaching buffer stops at a terminal platform like this, that would be one situation where you're actually allowed to move the train without reporting it. I've just pressed the wrong button. I wanted A and not D. Yes, if you're coming towards buffer stops and you have a TPWS activation, you are allowed to reset that activation, wait for the 60-second timeout, and then proceed towards the buffer stops before reporting it. That's the only time you're allowed to go without reporting. Look at that, smack bang in the middle. Doors on the left. Okay, brake step 3. DR8 is set into neutral, and we want to put reds up, ready for the return journey. Everyone's starting with the emojis. We knew that was going to happen. Chip Bastian, in freight rail, are you allowed to have a radio or some kind of music player, or is it forbidden? Absolutely forbidden. I think we should be allowed, but yeah, it is not allowed. Alex, yes, I did want to be a train driver when I was a kid. Do you know when they say, like, this train is cancelled due to staff shortages, where it's like, how is that possible? Every kid wants to be a train driver. It's like, how is that possible? Right, okay, we will have... Oh, I think I've crashed the game. That's good. There we go. Let's have a little run on the middle and main line. As we've still got over 100 people watching, which is fantastic. Dadrow, are teddy bears allowed in the cab? Absolutely, teddy bears are allowed in the cab. It's mandatory. It's my emotional support animal. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay. To the trains. Choose a route. What have we got? 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 Middle and main line. Timetable. Yeah, I'm quite tempted to take the Ralph Phoenix 37 out for a spin. Drag this class 375 onward. Trouble is, we're not going to get any station stops if we do that, are we? No, we'll do an HST. Let's have an HST. 2+8. And we'll do a London St Pancras, Nottingham. We'll do one going the other way. Nottingham to London St Pancras. As you can see by the number of medals I've been awarded, I have played many of the services on here and completed them. I don't actually have that many hours in game. Unless I'm streaming it, I don't really tend to play it, which probably comes across in the quality of my driving. Harun, I'll need to disappear soon as I have an assignment to work on, but I'll stay for an extra 5 or 10 minutes, no worry. Sujat, how can I get the driver to let me ride in the cab? You're going to really struggle with that, if I'm being perfectly honest with you, because we're not allowed to have unauthorised people in the cab. So the only people I can sort of have in the cab are people that are route learning, sort of other train drivers, for example, who are route learning, or anyone with a valid cab pass. Yeah, so it is difficult. It is difficult. Yeah, cab rides. You can sometimes officially arrange a cab ride. If you know someone who's on the railway, maybe they can arrange it officially for you. That can be done. There are means and ways of doing it, but it's not something you're really going to be able to walk up and do, unfortunately. Okie dokie, we were going to do this last run, which is 25 minutes, and then we're going to call it a night. I'm saying that for the benefit of Mum Rail, who's sitting behind me. In a beautiful EMT HST. No. Yes, EMT. Right, let's see if we can remember how to work this thing, because this has had some updates. Master key unlocked. DSD is now normal. AWS is over here somewhere, isn't it? Day headlights and markers. Vigilance normal. Where is the AWS? I thought the AWS was over here. Well, let's put the key in and see what happens. Oh, okay, it's already in. That's fair enough. Unlock doors. Doors are on the right. So we will be calling out East Midlands Parkway and Leicester only. Hopefully we should pass some of the AI services with the TEA wagons on there as well, which would be quite good. In Sweden, it seems to be mandatory with a coffee and thermos in the cab. Coffee in the cab is absolutely mandatory, or tea. No tea, no train, as Helen would say. Harun, you're going to stay for the duration. Yeah, 20 to 25 minutes. Where are we now? We're 9:45. We're due there at 10:09, so yeah, 25 minutes. Or thereabouts. I haven't played this route very much. I know it's had quite a few updates done to it recently. I know there was a few complaints about the foliage and bits and bobs at the beginning, so it'll be quite interesting to see exactly what's been done with it. Gregory Allen, Richard, if you charter a train, can you ride in the cab there? Probably not, to be fair, because it comes down to the company's safety case. So that's why you wouldn't be allowed. But if you're paying all that money, you could probably pay to have someone escort you into the cab as well. There are means and ways of doing it officially. It's just, you know, any driver that kind of does it off their own back and it's not an official kind of cab ride is taking a chance with their job, basically. Okay, I'm doing a really bad thing here because I'm taking power before my brakes are fully charged. Okay, now we can take some power. We got a green, we got a D. We are off to East Midlands Parkway in 7.7 miles. David, can you make up your own route on Train Sim World 4? There is a public editor which is available on PC for Train Sim World 4. However, it's difficult to learn it. It's quite an in-depth, difficult editor, but yes, it can be done. Yeah, Mark, I'm completely with you there. So one of the great things you've got on Blackpool branches on the Pacer, although you do have to press closed doors manually, which is a little bit of a shame, there is a guard's buzzer, which you repeat back. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, J70, the HST does have unbelievably slow reacting brakes, but then I guess they are ancient nowadays. It's because they're working on the train brake pipe principle. They're not like electric brakes or anything. They're air controlled, which is exactly the sort of brakes you've got on freight trains. Deborah, what was the first train you ever shunted drove? It was a Class 465, but I couldn't tell you what number. Class 465 in Slade Green Depot was the first time I ever got to move a train. Officially. Right, we're 40 then up to 80. I reckon we can let the Valenta... Is it? I'm sure this is a Valenta. Let's let it rip. I am a fan. I am a fan. I think the only place we've got HSTs left now is in Scotland. There will be... It's going to happen. There will be HSTs in preservation. JB Video, some mainline certified steam locos have dual brakes. Yeah, but I believe that's dual brakes as in air and vacuum. I don't believe that's like... So what I was talking about was like... something like an EP brake, which is an electro-pneumatic brake. So on an EP brake, when the driver applies the brakes in the cab, it sends an electrical signal down the length of the train, which opens up the individual brake brake solenoids on the brake valve, so that the brakes apply on the train, on every bogie on the train at exactly the same time. Whereas on an air controlled system, you're waiting for the air pressures to balance out between the wagons. So if I reduce the brake pipe pressure down to 4 bar to make a brake application, that brake pipe pressure's got to drain out of the whole train before the whole train would be braking. So obviously that takes a little bit longer. Alex Feller, my local heritage railway, Colne Valley Railway, has a couple of HSTs. The Colne Valley Railway, is that Colne in Lancashire? I used to live in Burnley, not far from there. Must stop doing accents. Sorry, Artie. Cadbet, which trains replace these? So, primarily like IETs, Pendolinos, Azumas. Yeah, JB, you a lot of them are dual brakes, so yeah, they've got vac and air, but you can run in air only, like you say. The Class 73 locomotive, for example, I believe the 33 Cromptons as well, you can use those as brake translators, so you can have a vacuum brake loco on the front, a Class 73 as a translation vehicle, and then an air brake train behind it, or vice versa. Right, so let's have a little bit of a running brake test, as we haven't done that already. Let's check what our brakes are doing. Which is a convenient time to do it because we've got 2 yellows just cleared up to green. So I'm happy the brakes are working. I'm just going to let that coast for a minute. Although I can see up ahead our next signal is already green. So I think we can probably get that going again. Hey, Sussex Round Enthusiast, hello. Colne is East Anglia. Perfect. Yeah, there is a Colne in Lancashire as well. I promise. Hey David Jones, good evening and Merry Christmas to you too. We should have the Dad Rail Christmas Carol service where we all sing Christmas songs.
Oh.
Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad. That'd be a bit of Chris Rea for me, driving home for Christmas.
Don't sing.
Don't sing, don't sing. I like singing, people pay me to be quiet. Well, we are kind of running yellow to green here, so I am just going to kind of... Although the line speed is only 80 anyhow, so... we don't want to be going too fast. SJA, no wham. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, and the very next day you sold it on eBay. That's it, I've just knocked you all out, Whamageddon, it still counts. Oh, I'm going to get a copyright strike with that voice of mine. I think there's no chance. I mean, we could go for the lad baby touch, couldn't we? I mean, I could be Mark and Danny could be Roxy, and we could go, we built this city on sausage rolls. It'd have to be like, we built this live stream on tea and biscuit. No, it doesn't quite have the same ring to it. My wife's sitting there thinking, what did I marry?
Seriously.
Hey, Josh's Journeys, how are we doing? The GBRF Christmas album. Right, line speed's going to come down to 70. I've just let that roll back there. That's doing quite nicely. Northern Princess Productions. I promise I will not sing. Must do better next time. Formula 47. There isn't going to be one this year. They've said they're not doing one this year. I know, Northern Princess Productions. If this train driving thing doesn't work out, I've definitely got a career in the music industry. Cleaning the toilets.
Maybe.
This does look very atmospheric. As we're approaching Red Hill Tunnel at the moment. East Midlands Parkway is just the other side of the tunnel. Hopefully we are going to pass some freight traffic. Okay, let's drop a little bit of braking. J7E Enjoy, as a freight driver, what do you think of the ever ubiquitous shed? Do you know what? They're completely unexciting. And they're very boring, but they are absolute workhorses, and they are the saviour of British rail freight. And as a driver, they are warm, they are comfortable, they are not too noisy, and you know what? Most of all, they are reliable. If I've got a 66, I will get home, normally on time. You know, they do exactly what they say on the tin. They are, and I know a lot of people don't like them because they did replace a lot of what you call proper traction. Hey, Steam Rail Tour, cool. Oh, it's the one with the lights on it. That is awesome. It's the Christmas Steam Rail Tour. I love that little train in the game. It's a really nice touch. Yeah, although a lot of people don't like the 66s, they do exactly what they say on the tin. They pull well. They're comfortable. They're reliable. They just work. Oh wow, these brakes do take a long time to release. A lot longer than expecting. 7 and 5. We're on 8 and 2, aren't we? So we want to go down to the end. Pig and Bob once saw a 66 with wheel flats. If you come around my neck of the woods, they've all got wheel flats at the moment. Not the ones I've been driving though, of course. Yeah, for me, interesting at all. There's somebody at the door.
Can I just say, Lana and Jack Sucks at Life, they're both from my school.
Oh, okay. Right, okay. Lana and Jack Sucks at Life are both from my son's school.
Lana is called Darcy, and Jack Sucks at
Lesson in privacy just been given to son. I found the mic off button just in time. Right, what are we doing? Loading passengers. Let's go and have a quick look at... I expect it's gone. Is it gone? Is it going? Should that not be making chuffing noises as it leaves? I feel like the sounds as that pulled away were completely missing. Yeah, we can't see very much here, but I think there has been some improvements to East Midlands Parkway. The Stig, hi there, Richard. How come you haven't got your dashboard display lights on? Been watching you a little while, but not from the start due to things. Do you mean the dashboard lights inside the cab? Because I haven't turned them on. Desk lights now on. There we go. Or do you mean up on the heads-up display here? Why I haven't got them? I haven't got the lights on there. The reason I haven't got them on the heads-up display is because I like to drive. I need to know where the stations and speed limits are, but I kind of like to drive with as little information as I can and sort of take it in from the route. Right, we've got a green. We're off. We're good for 110. Formula 47, it's running on biofuel. Alex Feller, good question. When a situation occurs that means your train is halted for a long period, are you allowed to listen to music or anything other than wait? That's a pretty good question, really. I think you have to apply a little bit of common sense to the situation and kind of decide on exactly what's happening. If I was stuck out on a passenger train, snow conditions overnight or something like that, you know, you're not going to sit there and not use your phone for the whole night. It's not going to happen. So I think there's a little bit of common sense that comes into play, but officially, no. Instrument lights and desk lights are different switches, possibly. Windscreen de-icer, spare, desk light off, LED test, nice. Gauge dimmer, there we go. Let's get this thing going. Off to Leicester or Leicester, depending on where you come from. I mean your speed and brake pressure dial's not on. Oh, you mean on the heads-up display? Got ya. Yeah, and I just turn them off because I like to look at the dials in the train, really, when I can. Stu, good evening. Hello. David Jones, which is the fastest train in the world? My going home train. I think officially it's still the TGV. But I think in service it's probably the Japanese Bullet. LW Rail, Richard, can you drive 56s? Not officially, no. I signed 57s and 69s, but not 56s. No, I haven't got a chocolate bar wrapper, unfortunately. I wish I did. Why do I not have a chocolate bar?
Why would you have a chocolate bar?
I know.
That's right.
The service is atrocious. I think we've got a couple, JB. Although most of them have now been converted to 69s. No, Stu, I've been off for a few days, so I've not really following what's been going on. Joshua Lang, hope you're well, Richard. Wish you and your family Merry Christmas. Can't wait for the London Overground route coming. Yes, I'm hyped for that. And Merry Christmas to you and yours, Joshua. Chip Bastian, what is the most annoying train you ever drove? Oh, interesting question. I'm not sure, really. I don't know what you mean by annoying. I mean, 73s can be quite old and rattly, so sometimes, like, all the gauges and handles rattling about can be quite annoying. But, I don't know, really. The Formula 1 nerd. Do you know what? I can't remember. I know that's terrible. Excuse me, but I genuinely can't remember. Transport from Berkshire, that definitely would have been a Class 43, because Class 43 still holds the world record for the fastest diesel train, as far as I know. Chugging along. It's pretty good though, because it gives me a chance to catch up with you guys in the chat. I've definitely had too many chocky bars to stick, yeah. But there's always room for one more. Haven't passed any AI freight services yet, so hopefully we will. Oh, Josh's Journeys. I think the best chocolate I've had is Terry's Chocolate Orange. Terry's Chocolate Orange. Danny, Chocolate Orange, yes or no?
No, that's wrong.
Yes.
No.
Chocolate Orange is just... Chocolate Orange is Christmas.
No.
Ah, Formula 47 mini eggs are nice. Right, I've got 110 coming up. Let's take the power out. We're on a slight uphill grade, so hopefully that's going to take a little bit of our speed out with it. Hannah Scott, it's not Terry's, it's mine. That was Dawn French, I think, done the adverts for that. GJ Barnard, the Christmas special should be called the Tree and Biscuits stream. Tree and Biscuits? Yeah, I like it. I do like it. Terry's chocolate oranges are the only oranges I eat. It's the only fruit I eat. Does a chocolate orange count as one of your 5 a day? What is my wife's favourite chocolate? I should know this, shouldn't I? Lindor. Lindor. The little lint bunny things. Freight train! We're not going to go down that road again. We're not talking about bunnies and balls. No, move on. Rapidly moving on. We're talking about chocolate here if you have just joined us. Lint chocolate. I said she likes the lint bunny. She says she likes the lint balls better. So it's perfectly innocent. Right, we're 115, rising to 120, so we're all good. Let's keep that power in. 7.3 miles to Leicester. J7E Enjoyer, have you heard about the trouble Transport for Wales is having with the new Class 197s, having immense wheel slip issues, so some are out of service the rest of the month. Oh, okay, fair. No, I hadn't heard about that. A mint version of the Terry's Chocolate Orange. Oh. Dear Santa, for Christmas I would like... Artie, all I heard was the word balls, and then I got an advert, so I'm not saying nothing. Chocolate balls, lint chocolate, little round ball things. As opposed to the lint chocolate bunnies. It's all innocent, Artie. It's completely innocent today. I promise. There's 93 people still here, like and subscribe, who will vouch for me and the fact that it was completely innocent. Richard, stop digging. I'm getting out of this hole now. The Formula 1 nerd, do you know what the difference between a Class 387 and the Class 377 is? Yes, I think the difference between 387 and 377 is 1. No, seriously, the inside's quite a bit different between the 387 and the 377. And the 387s are fitted with a DAC system as well, driver advisory, or DAS driver advisory system. Yeah, the interior is quite different. I think the 387s might be 110 mile an hour units as well, where the 377s are 100 mile an hour units. I never signed the 387s, but... Lana says those bunnies are the best, like nothing can top them. So my wife Danny has in the kitchen a Lindt chocolate Christmas calendar, advent calendar thing, and the Christmas Day one is a Lindt bunny, and I've told her that she's not having it, I'm having it. Watch me get my finger ready on the stream deck. Yeah, NG, that backfired, didn't it? The difference between a 387 and a 377 is 10. Not 1. I can't count.
I know.
Yeah, Joshia's journeys, 100% absolutely. Okay, that was... Okay, I'm hoping we haven't missed this. That was very much... We would be making a phone call. We would be putting the emergency brakes on now, making a phone call to the signal in real life. I'm hoping this hasn't reverted back to danger. One yellow, other train drivers and railway staff. We have one yellow on the main aspect and then 2 white lights on the subsidiary signal, which is actually blocking the signal ID plate there. So that's... who made this route? It wasn't Just Trains, was it? That's tea and biscuits with the manager for the devs. And then as well, if we've got a subsidiary or a shunt signal associated with a main aspect... That's a stop signal right there, and that's a stop signal. That shouldn't be illuminated. And again, you can see the signal ID plate kind of hidden behind it. So that is very wrong. That is not right. Yeah, no, that should not be like that. Yeah, Artie, definitely wrong. Single yellow and 2 white lights ain't a good look. It's not a good look. That definitely shouldn't be like that. You should probably think about getting some brake in here as well. As we are now approaching Leicester, well, this train and live stream will terminate. One yellow, platform number 3. Red ahead. And it looks like the red's going to be after the station, so we're just running nice and slowly. If we're coming into a station against a red signal, then we're slowing down for the red, not the station. And we do have our Ralph Phoenix 37 parked up over there, look. Got some weird stuff going on with the snow there in the forefoot. And we are looking for the 2+8 stop car mark. Red at the end of the platform. No more than 20 over the AWS magnet, subject to your individual company's operating instructions. And where's the stop car mark that we're looking out for? Probably all the way up to the end of the platform. 2 plus 8 equals 10. So the 10 will do for us. Doors on the left. Okay, so we are stopped at a red, so we should be DRA. Excuse me. Full service brake application, and oh, it all went horribly wrong at the end there. And we are platinum medal. Couple of little bits of speeding there, but nothing too dramatic. I will absolutely take that. The stick. Good night, Richard. I'm off to bed. Rather tired. Maybe catch you next time. I am doing exactly the same, my friend. Because I have a day of de-icing tomorrow, which means sitting around in the yard drinking tea and eating mince pies because the temperature is far too warm to go de-icing. Hopefully, probably, maybe. So before we do head off, we have got to do a reveal on our Locomotive Location livery.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
Thank you very much, NG, for sending this one in. I think quite a few people got this right, which is why we stopped the game.
It's time to reveal today's Locomotive Livery Location.
That is, of course, a Chiltern 168 at London Marylebone Station. And if you do want to send in any pictures for Locomotive Livery Location, you can do via the Dadrail website, which is www.dadrail.co.uk. That is the easiest way to send the pictures in now. There's an online bot that Artie very kindly created, www.dadrail.co.uk. So there we go, guys. That is it for this stream. This is probably the last stream before Christmas because I am working every single day now up until Christmas Day. So not much time for streaming, I'm afraid. So if I don't speak to any of you before, do have an absolutely fabulous Christmas or winter festival or whatever you're celebrating or not celebrating. Hope you have an absolutely fantastic, lovely time. Don't drink too much, of course. Don't eat too much, more importantly. Terry's chocolate oranges all round. They're not Terry's, they're mine. Hopefully we will get a stream, another stream before the new year, but I will advertise it out on the usual channels, which is fantastic. If you want to follow me on my social media channels and see what I'm up to, you can do. You'll find the links to those on the screen right now. Do check out the staff diary channels on the website as well. That's always a good read. So if you do want to follow up with what railway staff diary contributors are up to, you'll find that on the website. You're also more than welcome to join our very friendly Discord community, and you'll find an invitation link to that in the description below. Thank you very much, everybody, for all your support over the past year. A big thank you particularly to the moderator team, Artie, Northern Princess Productions in tonight, moderators in the stream and the Discord service, very much appreciated. And a big, huge shout out to all the channel members as well. Channel membership on Dabra from 99p. You get your name in green and a first class ticket and access to the first class areas on Discord. Do go and check that out. But a big thank you to everyone who supports in any way, shape or form. It is very, very much appreciated. So all that is left for me to do is to say thank you very much, to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, to press that button there which should start the music. I am going to maybe get something to eat now and hang out in Discord for a little while. Thank you very much. Good night and Merry Christmas. Oh, and I forgot to say, 20,000 subscribers. That was the other thing. Thank you so much for all your support. 20,000! 30,000 by the end of it.